Hey boys and girls, it's Mrs. Angelis, and you don't see my face, but you can get the information you need for today's exciting lesson of the Atlas. I love doing the Atlas, and most of the time students do too, because it's a little bit of a break from the old computer setup. So today you have your hands on the books, and you'll be learning about the height of the Roman Empire today with your Atlas. So the Romans we learned about started off small as a city, grew to a republic. They have a great expansion time, we have Pax Romana, and then we do have a decline of the Roman Empire, but today we are studying the height of the Roman Empire with the Atlas. So I want to go over this information with you. First of all, please be gentle to the books. I know some of you got your book today and you said, "Oh, Mrs. or Mr. So-and-so, the binding's coming off my book, the front part of my book's missing," whatever. They are getting abused because so many kids use them so often. So please be gentle with the books. I'm begging you. If you need to put a little bit of tape on your book and your teacher has the accessibility for that, I would appreciate it. Or just treat it gently. Also, you probably need your paper in front of you so you can do a little bit of the highlighting and writing in some notes. So if you don't have that in front of you, would you please pause the video and get the papers in front of you? While you're at it, you may as well go ahead and add your name and your crew teacher's name, please, because we are collecting these today. This is due today. You have no question, you have no reflection today. All you have is this informational video so you can get started and know all the little tidbits and tips. So please go ahead, put your name, crew teacher's name on there, and then be ready to work with no question or reflection today. Okay, guys, thanks for being ready. So the first thing to notice is we are doing height of the Roman Empire. So you're going to be on pages 38 and 39 of your atlas, and you should have that matching title on those pages. For the first part, for the introduction, you have to read the introduction and look at pictures A and read the caption. So as usual, let me just show you real briefly here. Here is that section right there. This is the introduction, this is A and the caption, so make sure to use those. The next part right here, it says use map B to fill in the blanks. So right here, remember when we read maps, we always read any additional information that comes with them and the title. What the heck is this map that we're looking at? Expansion and trade in the Roman Empire. So we look at that and we look at the key. What do these oranges mean? One thing I don't really like about this atlas is that they use these very similar shades of orange to me. Maybe with sharper eyes of a younger eyes, I guess, you don't see that as being so similar, but I think these are pretty hard to tell the difference between. So between you and your teammate, you'll have to examine these different shades and make sure you're telling which time period you're talking about. Okay, moving on. So I'm just going to highlight map B so we know what we're doing here. Also, a quick little tidbit. This one right here, it says name 2 culture regions. You have the opportunity to have 4 possible answers. You only need 2, but there are 4 different ones. So if you get confused, like, wait a minute, I see 4. Could that possibly be right? Yes. It is right. If there's 4 possible answers, you pick 2. Okay, so moving on to the back. Oh, you know what? I want to show you one more thing. On part B, it says additional. In which region did the Romans gain additional land between 107 and 180 AD or BC? Not BC, CE. Sorry. Ooh, confusing, right? AD is the same as CE, Common Era. Okay, so just notice that additional land and the timing. That will help you out with that particular question. On the back, it says, thinking about history. It says to use chart C, contributions of Rome. So just maybe make a highlight there, chart C, and that is this chart right here. We've already kind of talked about this a couple of different times, so you can definitely imagine the significance of that. If it's come up so many different times, it is a big deal, these different contributions that Rome made. Then moving down here, this is a little bit tricky but kind of fun. So you have to compare map D And then it says, how big was the Roman Empire with map B? How big was Alexander's empire and map D? Alexander conquers Persia, and it gives you the page numbers. Okay, so you have several different maps you have to go to, including different pages. So you're going to be flipping back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. A is to denote anybody, or if the area was ruled by Alexander. R is to talk about the Roman Empire, and B is to talk about they had been ruled by both Roman and Alexander. So you'll have to go through, let me give you a little example, okay? So if you go here, it says map D, which is this one right here on this page, and it also refers you back to 34 right here. Okay, so you're using Alexander's empire and you're using Roman Empire. And this is page 34, which I told you in the document. So on the region of Northeast Africa, who had control of that? Who owned that for a while or at any point? Was it just Alexander? Was it just Rome? Was it both Alexander and Rome at different times? So first of all, you have to understand how to think about your relationship with the map, right? So remember that old thing? I know we did it in 5th grade. I don't know if you guys did it in 5th grade. I know we did. Never eat soggy waffles, which in other words is north, south, east, and west for the compass rose. So you can make an orientation like that. They don't have the compass rose on here because they think you should know that already. So when they talk about Northeast Africa, I can see this is labeled Africa, and I know because I can see Greece is right here and Italy's right here that this must be Africa. And then I have to think about northeast, right? So if I'm thinking about that, I see that this is green shaded. So this was definitely Alexander did have control of Northeast Africa. Now the question is, did Rome have control of Northeast Africa? So I go to my Rome map. I look in Africa and look northeast, and I see definitely Rome had control of northeast. We talked about Carthage and taking control of that area, and so definitely Rome and Alexander had control of northeast Africa. So as this answer would go, you would put a B for both. So I hope that becomes more clear, making sure you're looking at northwest Africa and then Greece, and then Western Europe, and then Persia. You're going to have to make sure that so you don't see the word Persia labeled here, right? You see Africa, Europe, and Asia, but you don't see Persia. So you'll have to use a little bit of this other map to kind of determine where Persia would have been. You'll figure it out, and you'll use the information within the book and with your friend to figure it out. Challenge yourself a little bit to think beyond, what? I don't see Persia. How can I possibly figure this out? Oh no. I know you don't see Persia labeled, but what else can you do? I know you'll figure it out and you'll think it through. Thank you for giving it your effort. And then the last part down here is looking at the history question. Why is Latin a dead language? Why is Latin a dead language from chart E? And that is back here. I'll show it to you briefly. Oops. Right here. Nope, I'm not going to be able to show it to you briefly because I can't make the camera do that. Oh, there we go. Okay, it's down here. You'll figure it out because it's labeled. And it says D. So you guys can do that and learn about language. So that will wrap it up for today. It is absolutely due today. There's no reason why with no question and no reflection you can't get this done today. Please turn it into your crew teacher. And virtual students, you have a turn-in on Google Classroom underneath Atlas to be able to turn your pictures in after you complete this, and you take an image and you can turn it in that place. Also, for in-person students, you will have some copies of the answer key available to you. Your teacher will distribute them as he or she sees fit. But I want you to be able to go and look at your answers. So perhaps when you finish a section or you finish a couple of questions, you go up and look at the answer key. And then if you're wrong on them, you can go back automatically and fix them up and notice where you made your mistakes. It's better to know where you made your mistakes. The grading is going to come in on participation. I don't care if I see erasers all throughout this. If you went back and you fixed things up, that's what I'm looking for. And you made some connections and you noticed some things. That's what we're looking for, of course. It's not that you have it right the first time, every time. Some of these are pretty tricky, so it's okay if you get them wrong, but just make sure you go back and you notice where your mistake was and you make the correction. So those will be available to you. Teachers, like I said, distribute those as you see fit. Sometimes I just put them around the room and let kids use them as needed if they don't abuse them. So thank you, boys and girls, for your effort on this today. Hope you are looking forward to this. I think atlases are fun, and I hope you do too. Have a great time. Talk to you soon.